So SmackDown just ended, and last SmackDown was great. One of the best shows of the year, one of the best free shows of the year. It was phenomenal, quite literally. AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler put on a phenomenal main event, and the build-up was great. Did this week live up to last week? It's tough, because this week was great as well. There was some stuff in there that I didn't like, but there was some stuff that I loved. Like, for example, The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. Some of the best mic work I've seen all year. I mean, SmackDown today, August 30th, 2016, had some of the best talking segments I've ever seen. I mean, every time somebody was on the mic, I was enthralled. I was engaged in what they were saying, and it was interesting. Nobody stuttered, nobody botched. Heck, even the commentators were, for the most part, on point tonight. And The Miz and Dolph Ziggler definitely set the stage for what was a great SmackDown. I mean, The Miz, you gotta love him. You gotta respect him on the microphone. He's a great talker in the WWE. He gave one of his better promos tonight. Not as good as the one he had on Talking Smack, but still great. He did not pause for anything. He did not botch at all. And then Ziggler came out and did very good on the mic as well, in a phenomenal, intriguing segment. They didn't even have to hit each other for me to be intrigued with this segment. I loved it. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 if I had to grade it. It was phenomenal. Next, we had the Hype Bros defeating the Vaudevillains. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Hype Bros. I love Zack Ryder, but Mojo Rawley, I don't know, he's kind of hit or miss for me. I like the gimmick. They do need to lay off the Red Bulls, though. But it was a entertaining match. Right out of the gate, the first 5 seconds, the two guys, the Vaudevillains and the Hype Bros, showed what they had, and they showed that it was going to be an entertaining match, and it was. It was short, but it was short, sweet, and to the point, and I liked it. I maybe would have liked it better if the Vaudevillains would have came out victorious, maybe a little upset victory, but all in all, it was good. Maybe 7.5 out of 10 if I had to rate that segment. Next, we had AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews. The build-up for this match was actually not bad. It was just one segment building it up. AJ Styles showed that he can cut a promo, and they actually let Apollo Crews cut a promo somewhat, which was great because they need to give him more opportunities to talk, because I think if they let him showcase his skills on the mic, maybe he will gain a little bit more experience talking and, get better on the microphone. And I thought that segment was great. It was just a short, 30-second segment setting up the match between Apollo Crews and AJ Styles. It was backstage. It was great. Styles being a great heel, being great on the mic. There wasn't even a microphone involved, but he was a great talker. Apollo Crews did great as well, showing that he can talk in the WWE. And then the match itself was good. I was expecting maybe a little bit more fight out of Apollo Crews, but the match itself was good. AJ Styles had to win that match. I'm sorry, with him having a match against Dean Ambrose for the WWE title at Backlash coming up, he had to win that match. I love Apollo Crews, and I want him to get a push, but I think the best way to push him would have been maybe him putting up a better fight, maybe having a little bit more of an epic match, but Styles still winning. I wish that maybe would have been a little bit better, because like I said, I want Apollo Crews to put up a better fight to make him look a little better, but I am still glad Styles won. Maybe an 8 out of 10 for both of those segments, the backstage segment and the match itself. Next, we had Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton's verbal confrontation. Now, this is what I'm talking about when I said that this was one of the best SmackDowns when it came to promos. Every time somebody was on the mic, I was intrigued. Whether it's AJ Styles, Apollo Crews, Miz, Ziggler, Bray Wyatt, whatever, it is phenomenal. Bray Wyatt, once again, showing that he's one of the best talkers in WWE right now, cutting a great promo. But have you ever seen a Bray Wyatt promo that isn't great? No, you haven't. Bray Wyatt, again, showing that he's one of the best characters in the WWE, one of the best talkers in the WWE. Whenever that guy opens his mouth, it's intriguing. I love it. And then you have Randy Orton showing that he can as well talk on the mic, having a little verbal confrontation with Bray Wyatt. I love this segment, probably my favorite segment of the night, and I'm highly anticipating this match against Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at Backlash. I hope Wyatt comes out on top. I don't know if this is a one-match rivalry or they're going to have a rematch. If they are having two matches, I would hope for maybe Orton to win the first one and then Wyatt to win in the second one, eventually winning the rivalry, because I do want Wyatt to win this rivalry. I think he needs a push, and Randy Orton putting him over clean would be a great way to do it. I don't know if they will do that, but that's how I would do it. I love Bray Wyatt. Like I said, one of the best talkers in the WWE, and this segment was one of my favorite of the night, 9.5 out of 10. I loved it, one of the best of the night. And we had Natalya and Alexa Bliss defeating Becky Lynch and Naomi. All four of these women are great wrestlers. Natalya is a phenomenal technical wrestler. Alexa Bliss, in my opinion, is one of the best women's wrestlers in the WWE right now. Becky Lynch, phenomenal. How can you not love her? And then Naomi, I think is an underrated gem. I think she's really good. She's very entertaining to watch. Her moves are really good, but the match was good. I didn't really like Nikki Bella on commentary because I don't like Nikki Bella on the mic. She doesn't sound right to me on the microphone. But the match quality was okay. It was good. It was entertaining. I did not like the booking. I didn't like that Alexa Bliss won with the roll-up because of... I'm okay with Alexa Bliss winning with the roll-up, but I didn't like that Carmella had to come out and do that with Nikki Bella. I think that should have been a whole nother segment. I didn't like that they intertwined that with the tag team match. The tag team match by itself would have been a good segment. A good, solid women's segment. I think that the Nikki Bella Carmella thing should have been a separate issue. It really had nothing to do with the tag team match. I know there's that six-pack match at Backlash for the women's title, but I just didn't like Nikki Bella on commentary. I felt like it didn't fit well with the match itself, and Carmella coming out, I think, kind of ruined the whole match for me. The match quality was good, entertaining, and I'd probably give that segment a 6.7 out of 10. Next we had Heath Slater and Rhino defeating the Headbangers. Thank God the Headbangers lost. Thank God. They're bad, okay? I'm sorry, they're terrible. Heath Slater and Rhino needed to win. I love Heath Slater. I really want him to get a contract. I actually care about what he's doing. I did not like the segment in his house. That was a little ridiculous to me. I think it kind of didn't really match the tone that they were going for with Slater. I thought before they were going for, like, maybe us feeling sorry for him. You know, he comes up from behind. They book him as an underdog, that kind of thing. I liked that. But I think now they're kind of going for a more, like, funny kind of thing to try and get us to like him, and I didn't like that. It was a sudden change of tones, and I didn't really like that. I like the more Daniel Bryan kind of storyline, the underdog, but that I didn't like. But the match I didn't like. The quality of the match was trash. But Heath Slater and Rhino winning was a necessity. The Headbangers are absolute garbage, and they should never step foot in a WWE ring again. I'm sorry if you're a fan of them. I just cannot stand them. And Heath Slater and Rhino needed to win. I really love underdogs like Heath Slater, and I wish they would book him more like an underdog. And I really want Heath Slater and Rhino to make it to the finals of this tag team tournament. I hope they beat the Hype Bros, and I'm very glad that they beat the Headbangers. That was a necessity. Then we had the main event with Dean Ambrose defeating Baron Corbin via disqualification. AJ Styles obviously interfered with the match. He was on commentary. Again, AJ Styles proving that he is a great talker in the WWE. Anybody who says Styles can't cut a promo is out of their mind. And they should, if anybody who says Styles can't cut a promo, watch this SmackDown, because every time he is talking, it's intriguing, and I actually care about what he's saying. And I love Baron Corbin. I said last week, when I was watching with the other half of RC Entertainment, that they need to start giving Baron Corbin matches. He wasn't even on TV until this week. Now that he's on TV, I'm very happy. I love Baron Corbin. One of my favorite heels. I love his character, the Lone Wolf. It's not the most original character, but I really enjoy it. He performs it well. He's awesome in the ring. One of the best finishers in the WWE. And Dean Ambrose, his title reign is getting a little boresome to me. I don't like his moveset. His matches aren't very good anymore. But he did put on a good match against Baron Corbin tonight. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. It did seem a little dragged on at some points, and it did seem a little boring at some points, but Styles on commentary did help spice things up a little bit. And Baron Corbin is great. Dean Ambrose is fine. The match itself was good. I wish there was a little bit more build-up towards the actual Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose match. I was wishing maybe Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose could have a confrontation backstage or something. Maybe not that, but something to maybe build the match up like they did last SmackDown with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles. Some of the best build-up I've ever seen for a main event on free television. Phenomenal build-up for that match last week against Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles. This week they didn't do that great build-up for Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose. In fact, there was no build-up, and that's what I was wishing there was more of. The match quality was fine. Was a little boring at times. Styles did spice things up on commentary, and the ending was... It was fine. It was kind of a cop-out in my opinion. I mean, of course Styles was going to interfere. And of course, it was going to end in disqualification. I could have seen that coming from a mile away. I think they could have come up with something a little bit more original. All in all, the main event to this SmackDown was a little bit disappointing to me, especially following up such a great main event in AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler last week. But all in all, I'd probably give that main event maybe a 7 out of 10. Entertaining, but could have been a lot better. Anyway, this SmackDown, all in all, I do not think was better than last week. Last week was a phenomenal show and represented what SmackDown is all about and showed that SmackDown can be better than Raw, and it's not just going to be the B show the whole time. But this week was exceptional as well. Last week was great. This week was fine. It was good. It had its great moments. It had its lower moments. Nothing that really made me angry, though. Nothing that was terrible. It was either fine or it was great. And the parts that they got right, they really got right. The parts that they could have improved on, they could have really improved on. But all in all, good show. And I couldn't really come up with a grade for the overall show. Maybe a 7 point, I don't want to go 7.5, but I don't want to go 8. So maybe I'll go 7.7 out of 10 for this week's SmackDown. Anyway, guys, this is RC Entertainment, and I will see you next time.